your host, Princess Kingsman. Okay, so today I will be talking about trauma. Okay, trauma. Um, Trauma is something that happens to everybody. Okay, um, I don't think I've ever met one person in my life that isn't going through their own trauma. We are all products of our backgrounds. We're all products of where we grew up, how we grew up, and how our parents raised us. We are all products of it, okay? Whether you believe that or not, it is true. You act based upon how you're raised, okay? How you're raised, the lessons you were taught, the things that were, spoken to you. You are a product of your background. You're a product of how your parents raised you, how they treated you. You're a product of it. Whether you like to believe that or not, it is true. Okay? And how you were raised is going to affect every part of your life. It's going to affect it. Okay? Marriage, work, ethic, relationships, raising kids. It's gonna affect you. Okay? It's gonna either directly or indirectly, either a lot or a little bit. Okay? So the definition of trauma is a lasting emotional response, okay, that often results from living through a distressing event. Okay, experiencing a traumatic event can harm a person's sense of safety, sense of self, and the ability to regulate emotions and navigate relationships. Okay, a lot of us have childhood wounds. Okay, that's what I want to discuss. The main topic here is not just trauma, okay, but it's don't have kids if you have not healed from your own wounds and traumatic events from your childhood or from wherever. As long as there's a wound, you need to heal it before you have a kid. Because bringing a kid into this world is a whole different ball game. I can tell you that because I am a mother myself. It is a whole different ball game. You need to navigate what hurts you the most, what hurt you the most when you were a kid. Even the little tiniest things that you think don't matter, or that maybe your parents or whoever brought you up just pushed to one side. Even those little things, they have a big effect on us. Deal with your childhood trauma, heal from it. At least try and actively work on yourself before you have a kid. Because you see, the thing is, once you have a kid, it's very, very possible. You could do it unconsciously or consciously, but it's very, very possible for you to raise them exactly the way your parents raised you. Okay? Blood is thicker than water, and I know that a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, Nikki, that's my other name, by the way, Nikki." Princess is my stage name, or that's what most people that are close to me call me. Now, it is very, very challenging. Healing is not for everybody. I will always say this because not everybody can handle the intensity of healing. Healing is very messy. Healing is very painful. Healing is very, very disorientating. You could lose your identity because you have to go through ego death. You have to go through, you have to cut some codependency, some toxic habits, toxic natures, toxic way of thinking, mindset. Healing is gonna change your perspective on the world, okay? It's like a snake shedding their own skin. You will have to shed it. And trust me, it's going to be painful. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything. Healing is fucking painful. Pardon my French. It is. Okay? And those that are strong enough, because not everybody is strong enough to go through healing. I thought I wasn't strong enough, but then I realized that when you're at the bottom, you realize the kind of strength that you have. And when everybody abandons you, that is when you realize the kind of strength you have. You know who is for you when you're going through hell. And you know who isn't for you when you're going through hell. Which is why I'm saying that healing is not for everyone, but it's good for everybody. It's good to heal. But like I said, not everybody can handle that because it's painful. Change is not easy. Change it will push you out of your comfort zone. Okay? The comfort zone that you have been in for so many years is going to push you away from that, and it's going to push you to reality, like, wake up. So what I have to tell you is something that I've learned through 3 decades of my life. And I can tell you for a fact, do not have kids if you have not dealt with your own trauma, your own childhood wounds. Don't. Because when you have them, it's gonna bring out the things that you never thought, or that you're not even aware that you had. You see, the thing about healing and trauma is that we push it down so much to the extent where we don't know how to find it. And sometimes we've buried ourselves so much that we don't even know how to cry sometimes, because we find it hard to navigate our emotions. Emotions can be complicated and emotions can be simple. It depends on how you handle it. It depends on how you look at it. And it depends on how aware you are of your emotions, of your body, of your feelings. So blood is thicker than water. I know that it's not everyone that raises their kids in that way. But you have to heal from your own childhood wounds. You have to deal with it. You have to talk about it. If you can't talk about it with somebody that you love and trust, talk about it with yourself. Hey, I talk to myself. I'll have you know. I talk to myself a lot. Because personally, I don't trust anybody. And it is better for you to talk to yourself because your spirit team are with you. That's if you're awakened to that level. Your spirit team are constantly surrounding you. So when you're talking to yourself, you're releasing the things that hurt you. You're saying the things that hurt you. Don't bottle it up, because when you bottle it up and you have a kid and you're raising a kid, it will come out. Aggression, irritation, anger, rage, irritability. It will come out. Okay, this is for the real parents. I'm not talking about the fake parents that pretend as if, they're all good. I'm talking to the real ones, the ones that want to be honest with themselves. Raising a kid is not easy. It's stressful. And it took me having a child to realize and to understand why some women don't want to have kids. I don't blame them. And I would never judge anybody that choose not to have kids, because it is emotionally draining, psychologically draining, mentally draining, and physically draining. It will drain the energy out of you, because that kid sees everything that you do. That kid sees how you react to issues. That kid sees how you deal with stress. And if you can't deal with those things in the appropriate way or in a healthy way, your kids end up taking smoking. Let's say, if you smoke in front of your kids or you try and hide it. Kids are smarter these days. Kids that we give birth to nowadays is not the kids that, they're like, they come, like, there's a lot of reincarnated kids. There's a lot of reincarnated kids, which means they've been here before. And you can tell with the way they interact, they talk, you need to heal. You have to heal. Otherwise, you're going to end up messing your own kids up. And I know that there is a lot of people wonder, why are there so much killers? Why are there so many killers? This is to mothers and fathers. Why are there so many serial killers? Why are there so many killers? Because go and look at the way they were brought up. What home were they born into? How were they treated? I'll give you a little example. A kid that was brought up in a turbulent home, a chaotic home. Every time this kid messes up, this kid is being locked in a basement or in a cellar or somewhere where it's secluded and it's only them. Tell me, how do you think that's going to affect that child growing up? Another example, a kid that was beaten multiple times, molested and beaten, starved, neglected, both emotionally and psychologically and mentally and physically. How do you think that's going to affect the kid growing up? It's going to mess them up. They won't be able to trust anybody. They won't be able to open up. They won't be able to let anyone get close to them. Speaking from experience, as somebody that has been through the experiences that I'm saying, people that have been sexually abused do not like to be touched. Okay, apart from being someone that's been through that, I've spoken to other victims as well. They don't like to be touched, and it's a psychological response. I've met females in the past that have been my friends that have been raped by their own fathers, and their mother knew and did nothing. What kind of life do you want that child to have? And this is what I'm talking about. This goes both fathers and mothers. You need to heal from your own trauma before you have a kid. Serial killers were never born serial killers. Kids are never born evil. They are being taught. They are being groomed by the people that raised them, by the people that were supposed to protect them and love them and guide them. But instead, they destroy them. Come on. Some parents have generations. There are some generations that they're generational killers. And they give birth and they train that kid to kill. Please tell me, what kind of life do you want that child to have? So this is what I'm saying, that there is a lot of people nowadays that I can say 90% of the population of this world go around with unresolved traumas. If I tell you what I have been through in my own childhood trauma, if I tell you my own story, you will be crying. And most of the time, you wouldn't even believe me because I don't look like what I've been through. That's because I've been under severe healing. And it's not easy, which is why I'm saying healing is messy. Okay? I'm going to leave it there for today. Okay? This is a 4-part series or a 5-part series, but you get my drift. So I'm going to come back and talk about it again. Okay? I'm still going to record another episode. So I want you to understand that you need to understand your own mind. Because if you're somebody that you've not healed from your trauma, you don't even know what trauma is, you need to start investigating, counseling, therapy. It doesn't always work for people, but it works for some people. Whatever works for you or whatever is comfortable with you, you need to start healing. Those that already have kids, I understand, okay? Try your best to look within. Because when you heal yourself and you deal with your pains, it will be easier for you to bring up a child. Because they're a reflection of you. You're a mirror. They copy you. They copy whatever you do, whatever you say, however you act. Kids are clean slate. So if you want to raise kids right, I would advise that you heal from your own trauma. Okay? I'm going to leave it there for today. Thank you so much for listening. And I will be back with another one. Stay tuned.